Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In my previous video, I have demonstrated how you can install the Ansible on your system. It could be on Fedora, Debian, Ubuntu, CentOS, as well as the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I believe you have installed the Ansible. You can check the Ansible by using this particular command. So which version you have. Let's start exploring the configuration file of the Ansible. So as I mentioned to you, you have the Ansible configuration inside /etc Ansible. So these are the two files and one directory is available. So let's start exploring the ansible.cfg. So if I check the ansible.cfg, you can see here most of the lines are comment out, but only there is a one line here. You can see it's a default. So these are the sections. So this is the default section where your inventory, library, module, utils, remote TMP, local TMP, forks, poll interval, sudo user, and all those has been mentioned. So all these lines are commented. It means by default the inventory file for this particular Ansible will be looked up by this Ansible from this particular location and this particular file. If you want to change this, you can modify this particular file as per your need. So we will do that one in a bit. So this is the particular default section. So when you go a little bit down, and there will be another section. The file is very long. Okay, here you have the specific section of the inventory. So this is the particular section. Enable the inventory plugins, like default is host list. You can put the script, you can put the YAML, you can put the INI or some other configurations as well. So if you don't want to use the INI format of the inventory file, you can have your inventory file in like this. So you have to enable this particular plugin, like this is the particular VirtualBox, YAML, or constructed. So this is the another section is called inventory. There is another section is called privilege escalation. So this is the very important section. For example, you are managing your remote host by using the Ansible, but do you think you will use your root user account to do the task from your Ansible server to the remote host? No, because nobody allow you to do that. So what we do, we use a regular user account with this sudo privileges. So this is the privilege escalation section where you can use here become true, means that privilege can be accelerated, or you can see the changed. Yes, true. It means you can change your identity from the regular user to the specific user. So this is the true. If it is false, it means you will be a regular user, you cannot be a privileged user. Become method, what type of method you want to use? So by default is sudo. So there are two type of method, I believe. By default is sudo and one is called su. So mostly we use this sudo to give the privileges for a user, but remember that sudo configuration should be done for on the remote host. We will do that one in a bit. Become user, so when you will do the sudo, which user you want to become. So this is by default a root user. If you want to become another user, you can be also that. By default is a root. And this is become ask pass, means when you use the sudo command, you have seen that sudo command is also required a password of your current user, means the identity of the user you need to prove by supplying the password of the user, not the password of the root user, but password of the user which you are using as a sudo. So this is the false. So by default it's a false, means it will not ask any password to prove your identity. So this is the very important section. So here let me write down some things from this particular location. So we required a default section first, so defaults, and also this one. So these are the two most important section. So here, okay, when you go to the Paramiku connection, so as you remember, I have explained this one. Paramiku connection is required if you are using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 or CentOS 6 or Enterprise Linux 6 operating system. But I believe on my system I have all those servers or the systems based on the EL7, so I don't need to use any Paramiku, right? There is a SSH section as well. So SSH, if you want to modify some settings inside your SSH, you can also do that one. But by default, the SSH is configured as per the Ansible requirement on the Fedora 31 as well as on the Enterprise Linux 7. So no need to do modification here. If you want to modify something, there are a lot to modify. You have also the Persist connection, the configuration for the SSH, like configure the persist connection timeout value in second. This value is how long the persistent connection will remain idle before it is destroyed. So by default is the 30 seconds. So if the 30 seconds out, it means your Ansible control node is going to reestablish the connection with the remote host again. You have the accelerate section here. There is another SE Linux section, and there is a color as well. So if you want to do some like funny things with the colors, you can also modify the colors. And diff. So these are the sections. Like initial days there were only the 5 section. One was the SE Linux, one was the SSH, one was the privilege section, and one was the default section. So these were the like section previously, but in the newest version of the Ansible, they have added a lot sections inside this ansible.cfg, which you can use to create. Okay, so default section, by default this is, so let me note down this particular file because I don't want to use this inventory file. I want to have my own inventory, so I can use this parameter and I can put my different location. I don't want to use library because I don't have any custom module as of now. By default it's used the 5 forks. So it means by default your Ansible is going to manage the 5 systems at a time. By default the sudo user is called root, so you can change that one as well. By default this one, so I believe like we are not going to mention inside this particular section because all these sections are also the part of the privilege escalation part. So you can see you can manage from here or you can manage from default section. Okay, now when we have the remote port, by default it works on the port number 22, so on, so on, so on. Good. And there is a one thing which I'm looking, roles path. Yeah, you can define your roles path to the different location. By default this is the location, so it is also the part of the default. Let me go down, and there is a remote user. This is the particular user which you can mention inside it. So by default the user to use the playbook, if user is not specified, Ansible will use your current user as default. It means on this system, if you see who am I, so I am the same user. So if you have not specified any user in your ansible.cfg, so Ansible will use the same user account to connect with your remote host. So you have to write your username here as per your remote server configuration. So you can debug this particular configuration file. as per your need. So by default, if you are not specifying any module while running the Ansible, by default the command is the name of the module, so it will use this particular module name. By default it will use the bin ss. So these are kind of, you know, configuration they have mentioned here. You can modify all of them, so I just need only few, you know, the lines. So let me create a particular directory, so I can use here Ansible. Let me create Ansible demo 1. Let me go inside it, and here I can create touch ansible.cfg. So this is the configuration file. Here vim ansible.cfg, go to there and write your configuration like this. So whatever the things you needed you can add, or whatever the things you don't want you can remove. So I need the inventory file to point to the different location. As of now I don't need to modify the forks, but later on if I want I can. By default sudo user is root, so I don't need that one as well. I can delete this one. Roles can be used later on, so I don't need to modify as of now. And remote user, of course, like I need to modify from root to some other user. So here inventory file is not my this location, so what I can do, I can mention a file name here. So I can mention here my inventory file is called my demo inventory. So this file name is could be anything. Let me demo 1 inventory. This is the file name, right? And root user, no, I don't want to connect my remote server by using the root. So let me put here the username is suppose DevOps. So this user I need to create later on, right? Okay, and here that's it. I will mention the privilege escalation once I will have the server. So I will let you know how you will configure this one. So this is the, you know, minimum line I have configured in my ansible.cfg, and try to use the command ansible space dash dash version. So now you can see Ansible is using this particular file, not the /etc ansible.cfg. Let's see where you are. I am inside /home sam ansible dash demo. So this is the ansible.cfg. As of now my Ansible command is using this configuration file. So what you have mentioned inside this configuration file, you have mentioned this demo inventory. So let me create this file as well in the same location, because I have not specified the path. If you want to put that one in temp, so you have to write here /temp /demo1 inventory. So you can type the absolute path of the file. Okay, so let me put here, I have two servers. One is called server1.example.com, and there is another one is called server2.example.com. So these are the two servers which I have, and these two servers I have put it inside my inventory file. Okay, now let's query something from this particular inventory. So you can use the command. Let me clear this screen. Ansible list. So I can put here all, means I want to list all the servers which I have in my inventory. So I can use here list dash, I think it's a I don't know. So what you can do, you can use the help. So here there could be a values. So these, yeah, it's a list host, so I can use this. So let me put the clear Ansible all. So as you can see, yeah, it's querying from the inventory file which I have mentioned, right? So this one, server 1 and server 2, and my Ansible is saying you have two servers inside the inventory. Okay, let me create the another inventory file inside /temp, and this is my demo 2.2 host, for example. This is the inventory file, and where I have mentioned demo1.example.com, demo2.example.com. You can mention n number of, like I can mention here the IP address as well, 192.168.0.1 and 192.168.0.2. So these are the four entries I have mentioned. But if I use the Ansible list all, so it will always display my default, which is pointed by ansible.cfg here, right? Because this is the particular file is used by the Ansible. So how you can pass your another inventory file? So what you can do, you can use the command ansible dash I, means inventory, or you can use here dash dash inventory, right? The full name. So I prefer to use I, and the path this temp demo host, and here I can use list hosts. Oops. Oh, I have not mentioned here all keyword. Sorry, my typo. Yeah, so it says, okay, you have 4 hosts inside this particular inventory. So one is called demo1, demo2, and these are the 2 IP addresses. So if you have the inventory file in different location, you can pass that one by using the dash I or dash dash inventory while using the Ansible command, right? So here in this particular example, we have created our ansible.cfg file and one inventory file where we have defined our 2 nodes, server1.example.com and server2.example.com, right? So I believe this is the particular demonstration is clear to you. If you have any questions, please put the comment on the video and I will try to answer your question. Otherwise, let's move to the next video where we will configure our 2 remote server into the Ansible and will have the ping pong or try to run some modules or the playbooks to the remote server. See you there. Thank you so much for watching.